now seen around the world on our live video stream that just fired up. And you can get to that by going to our website at talk973.com or talk1041.com. Either one will get you there. In the top middle of the page will be a link that will get you to the video. If you're just looking at audio, that's in the upper right-hand corner of every one of our web pages where it says on the air, listen live. Click that once and you're listening that quick. If you want to get it off of your mobile device, your video is available by firing up YouTube and putting Mornings with the Leader Man into that search. Or if you want an audio, fire up a streaming app such as TuneIn, iTunes, Streamer, many others work. Just put WEEB into that search and you'll get us at the top of your results. Weather for us today here in the Sand Hills area, well, it's going to be okay today. Wish it had started out sunny like they promised, and the overnight weather wouldn't have sounded stupid. But anyway, we got a few scattered sprinkles in the area. They'll be moving out pretty quick. It will go mostly cloudy in the early part. Partly cloudy by afternoon. Look for a high of 70. And tonight, cloudy 53. Tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, no mixing of rain at all. Partly cloudy on Thursday with a high of 80. Thursday night, partly cloudy 61. Friday, still partly cloudy 83. The warm-up continues on Saturday and Sunday. 88 on Saturday and Sunday, both under partly cloudy skies. Right now around the Sand Hills, winds are calm. Visibility 10 statute miles. Pressure 30-34. Dew point 44. Let's bottle that, save it for August. I've been saving these all year long, so I should have enough to get us through August. Humidity 86%. It's cloudy 48 right now here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. All right, it is 7:34, 34 now past the hour on this Wednesday hump day. Next hour will be the extended Zoom all zone. But what's going on now? Well, I got a letter yesterday from the 6 councils of state that were writing Governor Cooper. Those 6 councils of state include Lieutenant Governor Dan Forrest, Agricultural Commissioner Steve Trockler, Commissioner of Insurance Mike Causey, Commissioner of Labor Jerry Berry, Public Instruction Mark Johnson, and Treasurer Dale Falwell. And in the letter, they say, we're writing today to request that you convene a council of state as soon as possible to discuss plans for reopening North Carolina's economy, with the understanding that we will be dealing with COVID-19 for the foreseeable future. We all understand that sheltering in place cannot exist forever. With the rest of the Southeast and the majority of our country already providing structure and clarity to struggling businesses and workers, North Carolina is lagging in communication. Many of our offices are being inundated with phone calls from businesses that thought they'd be allowed to open after May 1st. You are now telling them they have to wait for at least another 2 weeks. And the key word there is at least, with minimal guidance from you. Excuse me, which is why we all know the governor wants to drag this out till election time, trying to make you scared to go to the polls, and then they'll do a mail-in ballot, which will completely be riddled with fraud and everything else they can think of. As the majority of the council, we are asking you to convene the Council of State as soon as possible so that we understand your plan for North Carolina. We also need the ability to provide clarity to businesses across our state that are dangerously close to permanently closing. And we need clarity as to why you aren't allowing specific industries to open as our neighboring state have done. To date, over 1 million North Carolinians, many in the restaurant and hospitality industry, have filed for unemployment, and less than 45% of them have received any assistance. It is heartbreaking to hear the unending high volume of phone calls many of us receive daily from hopeless citizens down to their last few dollars. There are numerous ways to protect lives and livelihood at this time without allowing healthy North Carolinian citizens to return to work and giving them the ability to provide for themselves and their family. We would like to discuss as council provisions relating to restaurants, salons, barbershops, entertainment, and small businesses church or worship services, and hospitals and health care. We understand that you've stated in the past that you're using the White House guidance for reopening North Carolina. However, it's just that, guidance for the entire country, not a law or a mandate. It allows maximum flexibility down to the county level. The fact that the North Carolina is faring better in cases and deaths on a per capita level than the rest of the nation, and the majority of deaths are from government-regulated congregate living centers, proves that our citizens can properly social distance and abide by COVID-19 business regulations. The citizens of North Carolina, especially those in need of protecting their livelihoods, are looking to our state leadership to come together and reopen responsibility as soon as possible. Last sentence here. We look forward to working with you, Secretary Cohen, and the rest of the Council of the State on how to safely and strategically reopen North Carolina. Again, that's from Lieutenant Governor Dan Forrest, Steve Troxler, Agricultural Commissioner, Commissioner of Insurance Mike Causey, Commissioner of Labor Cherry Berry, Public Instruction Commissioner Mark Johnson, and Commissioner, just Treasurer Dale Falwell. And people are getting fed up. They've had a belly full of it. There's no reason to single out barbers, hair salons, and restaurants and say you can't open, but the rest of the state can. And there's no reason that to think that these industries are not run by adults. They are run by adults who are capable of creating a safe environment for their customers. You just got to let them do it.
Well, not only that, Steve, but I think the people who frequent those places, their customers are well able to make decisions about whether or not they want to go there. I think the most telling thing about the letter you just read, and that is an extremely important letter, for folks who may not know, the Council of States consists of elected officials like the Lieutenant Governor and Dan Forrest, and then he also said Mike Causey, the Insurance Commissioner, Dale Falwell, the Treasurer. Now, you might recall Dale Falwell was on here a few weeks ago, and he is a survivor of COVID-19, and I asked him what the governor was planning on doing, and his answer was, I mean, almost shocking. He said, I don't know. I find out when you find out. Now, the purpose of the Council of States is to provide counsel to the governor. And we find out now that these men and women have written and said to the governor, can you please let us in on your little secret? What are you planning to do? And as Steve pointed out, it's ridiculous for a business person to think, okay, I can open next week. Oh, no, I can't. But, tomorrow. But no, he's retracted that again. And so you heard the letter when you write to your lieutenant governor, to your insurance commissioner, or to your state treasurer, and they don't know any more about it than you do.
What he'll do is wait till the last moment to do it if he's going to extend the shutdown, because that way it's little time for the backlash.
And I know a lot of people are putting very much faith in the governor. They're saying, he must know because he is the governor.
That's why he treats us like 3-year-olds.
He treats us because we accept that. Now, in line with that, we'd like to announce, the word is already out, but we'd like to make an announcement here that one of our businessmen in this area has decided that he's had enough, that he's finally going to do something. And by the way, I know this is going to make a lot of you angry, but I think he's completely right. He's either going to go broke or he's going to have to make a stand. I think I've said all along that there's no man that's going to come out and say, okay, time to open, because they're all afraid to do that now. No one's going to take this on their shoulders. But as Steve pointed out, we have a lot of good people. Think about Cooper's shutdown. It disproportionately hits women and minorities. The governor has effectively fired waitresses and hairdressers and daycare workers and cashiers and high-risk job, all those things.
Did you hear, John? He's going to feel the pain. He's not accepting his check until this is over.
Oh,
but the point is, he still gets his check.
Yeah, the poor guy. I mean,
the waitress and barback and everybody else get nothing.
And that doesn't even count the folks. And I'm surprised. I am really shocked that the women, especially the women my age, have not marched on the castle. Some people call it the Capitol.
Well, they're marching on the legislature today.
But the women my age, have not marched on there and demanded that hairdressers get back to work. I've talked to enough of them by email and text and on Facebook, and they are furious. And you know what? I'm kidding and I'm not kidding. How can a hairdresser be closed down just at the whim of one man? Now let me make the announcement here. Pete's Family Restaurant, a whole bunch of you know and love to eat there, in Carthage, is opening up for inside sit-down on the 23rd. Come hell, come high water, Pete's is opening. He's going to obey the recommended social distancing standards, but it'll be open. And there'll be some other things, events in line with that at that location, which we'll talk about another time. But I hope that you'll come out and support Pete's Family Restaurant as it opens on the 23rd. And I pray that that'll be just the beginning, because we cannot let this governor just ruin our economy because of what he believes to be his wisdom. It's got to stop. It's got to stop somewhere. We can't keep this up forever. Steve, the Pilot's front page had a great big headline today. It said 4 more cases found in facility. Now, it's a scare headline. You see that and you're like, oh my Lord, I've got to rush home immediately and scrub from head to toe and put on a volcano entry suit because this is getting worse and worse and worse. What they didn't tell you, what they should have told you up front, was that the person who had who tested positive doesn't even have symptoms, has no symptoms, and that could be any one of us. That they should have explained that, a lot of folks have it. That let me rephrase that. A lot of folks who do have it don't have symptoms. They'll never know they had it. It's not a big deal, and don't panic. Now let me get back to Pete's.
Also, one other thing you ought to do, that 10 people have died in Moore County. Is that right?
I don't know.
That's what it says here.
Okay.
We have right at 100,000 people in Moore County. So that's 0.01%.
And they also, I think, should release the ages and where they picked it up and what kind of care they got and how quickly they got that care, and did they just stay home and pass? We need that information. Frankly, there are a lot of you out there who, if you get it, you're most certainly, statistically, will probably be fine, even if you get real sick.
Even if you have symptoms, according to First Health, you got 84% of that being negative. And there was the president of Tanzania sent in a bunch of tests to the testing lab, and he sent things like in motor oil, papaya juice, goat, duck, beef, horse, a whole bunch of them. And about half of them came back positive.
Yeah, I read about that.
Yeah, you saw that.
Yeah.
And that tells you these tests are not that accurate.
And well, what I was going to say was that there's a lot of you out there that if you got this horrible virus, you'd be fine. I happen to be in the high-risk group. I'm 70 years old, as I've told you many times. And most of you
That's looking younger and younger to me.
Well, most people say, yeah, hey, 70. Most people say 70. I thought you were 90. But anyway, I'm in the high-risk group. I get it. But a lot of you aren't. And I think that if we knew, my point is, I think that if we knew that this is proportionally the danger that you're facing statistically, I think there'd be a lot more ease and rest in this country. We wouldn't be so fear-stricken. And for some reason, the drive-by media, like the Pilot, instead of saying, hey, not to worry, this guy was tested positive, but it's okay. He shows no symptoms, and we know that he probably won't ever show symptoms. It's all right. Instead, no, 4 more test positive, or 1 more, whatever it said. It was some scare headline. But anyway, Pete's you'll be hearing a lot more about that, and I'm hoping others will follow. If you feel like you're...
He also said his Robin's
also said Robin's
restaurant, the chicken house, would open also.
Yeah. And hope there'll be a big crowd. You'll have to wait because the governor's guidelines, but
and if you're going to open foreshore on the 23rd,
yep.
Whether or not the governor allows you, right now it's set so that you can, but he may extend his phase 1, which would mean you can't.
That's correct.
And here, keep in mind, the governor's trying to keep you scared to death so that you do not want to vote, except by mail. And that way they can rig this election pretty quick. And you'll see him winning.
Well,
so we'll vote back in stupid again.
I think that's correct. I don't think there's anyone listening, Democrat or Republican, that disagrees that if you mail in a vote, that all opens all kind of opportunities for some type of cheating to occur. Not necessarily by the people who open the ballot, but rather by the crooks who send in the ballot. Who knows who they are? Who knows who they could be? They could just take names and send them. Today in May, there were 40 obituaries in the pilot from any cause. Living is the primary cause of dying. Now, that may sound stupid to you until you think about it for a week or a month, but we're all going to die. We don't want to go jump off a building and say, we're all going to die. But on the other hand, we want to drive our cars. We want to go places safely that we know can kill us. We eat places we know we could catch food poisoning and die. We want to be sensible. We want to go to places and conduct ourselves sensibly, but not panic, just mass panic that we've seen. I'm very proud of Pete, and I'm very proud of Steve here for supporting this, and I know that a lot of you will be angry, and I understand that as well. Just don't go. Just stay away from there if you.
But if you are supporting it, and you're a restaurant owner, we'll be glad to mention you too. Yep. on the November 23rd opening.
And it bears mentioning again what Pete said a while ago, and that is this: the governor, if he sticks by his phase 2 plan, will allow Pete to open and every other restaurant to open. But the problem is they're getting sick and tired of, okay, tomorrow. How are you supposed to run your business not knowing the rules from week to week? You can't do it. So Pete's finally said enough. I'm open to the 23rd. I don't care. I'm fully prepared.
Well, you got to have time to hire your staff back and get things ready to rock and roll again.
Yep.
You can't do that in an afternoon when the governor says yay or nay.
And we were in there yesterday, and he's in there sanitizing and getting everything cleaned up and ready to go.
You do look a lot cleaner today, John.
Well, I wish I could say the same for you. You should have stuck around a little longer. But I guess the point is that it's time to open. We can't keep this up forever. You know, California now, I just read, California, the governor there is saying he may extend this thing out until August.
Yeah, I heard that this morning.
We are already losing not just businesses, but people. All of you are bound to know a couple that can't hardly stand each other.
I mean, this is the guy who allows anybody to live on the sidewalk.
And that's even doubled.
And poop and pee on it all they want.
And that's doubled, I read in
and it's a safe drug place, too. You can inject all day long.
We've lost our minds, Steve. We've completely lost our minds.
And he gave $24 billion of your and California's tax money because your federal dollars go to California, a lot of them. And he paid $24 billion to illegal immigrants last year.
Yeah.
How many Americans would that have helped?
Well, it would have helped a heck of a lot, and just about everyone who's listening. And I don't like that term, illegal immigrants. Okay, to me, you're an immigrant if you come to this country legally and you fill out the paperwork and you do that may not be the legal definition, but I've always heard we're a nation of immigrants. Yes, we are. We're a nation of immigrants. We're not a nation of illegal people sneaking here illegally, crossing the border, however they do it, whatever nation they're from. And we all know that our biggest concern is our southern border. So we say Mexicans. Oh my gosh, is that an insult? If you're like me, a white male, and you hear someone say he is a Mexican, and that insults you, well then you're the bigot, because a Mexican, and I grew up with them, know they're Mexicans, and they are proud of their Mexican heritage, as they should be. So for you to say a Mexican is a derogatory term, shame on you. That's like saying that an American is a derogatory term. USA is a derogatory term. Well, for some of you liberals, it is a derogatory term. You hate that term. You hate to be called an American, identified as an American. You hate the word patriot. You want to talk about how America's the bad guy and all the bad we've done. No, we're the good guys. Mexicans, wonderful people. Just same thing with people from Sweden and Italy and Germany and Britain and Scotland. Come here, you're more than welcome, but come here legally as an immigrant, like my relatives did back in the 1800s when they came over.
All right. Well, we'll talk a little more about this, I'm sure, during the Zoom Out Hour. It is...
Oh, I have an hour now?
Well, you get your part of it. Let's see here. Late Night Boys. We usually start out our sound bites with that. These are the late night eunuchs, like Jimmy Fallon and the like, to see if they can come up with a joke that John Zumwalt will laugh at. So we'll keep his mic hot and see if he laughs.
Check this out. I read that a growing number of churches might start doing drive-in services. It's nice going to church, but super obvious when you try to sneak out early. In a new interview, the founder of Quibi says he blames everything that has gone wrong with the streaming service on the coronavirus. He might have a point, if only the entire world were stuck at home desperate for new content.
All right, so 2 thumbs down from John on that.
Well, I mean, look, I could have thought of those jokes. These guys are making a lot of money. They're just skating along here. You expect to hear something really funny from a guy that's being paid millions.
Since many couples can't couple right now, I'm going to skip that one. That's the one I'm going to skip.
I'm glad you skipped that.
There's a new Barbie out, and you know they rushed one out for the COVID-19 thing. So let's check out the commercial for that.
Mattel introduces a realistic toy. It's non-essential worker Barbie. Your kids will have hours of lockdown quarantine fun.
Non-essential worker Barbie comes with disheveled hair in a bun, a baggy sweatshirt that says, "It's wine o'clock somewhere," yoga pants, bottle of cheap wine, rubber gloves, and face mask.
Non-essential worker Barbie.
Couch and unused workout equipment sold separately.
Only available online until the pandemic is over.
Now that was funny, because it's so true, and I especially like the part about unused workout equipment. I call them.
Got some in your house, do you?
Oh, we hang clothes on it and put different things.
Yeah.
But I mean I think about. I started to say this a while ago. You think about all the people that you know who don't really like each other, particularly, and then they're stuck together 24 hours a day, and then you throw in the children, who adorable, wonderful children, but kids get on your nerves after 24 hours a day, no relief, can't go anywhere. And then you throw in the fact they've lost their jobs, maybe broke, and then you throw in the fact that they can't pay their rent, and on and on. So yeah, there'll be some shallow graves out of all of this.
Yeah, well, they say every 1% that the national unemployment rate goes up, it equates to 10,000 suicides.
Oh my gosh, that is a terrible statistic, and I hate hearing it.
So we got 14% unemployment now, which represents about 140,000 suicides.
Yeah, I believe it, and I don't know how the homicide rate's affected, but I'm sure it's way, way up as well. Especially, and I know domestic violence is up, and that's just the reported cases. Who knows how many women and or men are getting beat up out there by their spouses and just hadn't been reported.
Well, BBC reporter Andrew Cotter has gone viral because of a Zoom meeting he did with his 2 dogs. The 2 dogs were named Olive. Well, the good dog is named Olive, and she's doing so well during quarantine that she earned a company bonus. And then there's Mabel. She's late to the meetings, is constantly distracted, scratches herself on camera, and then falls asleep during the chat.
Right, so basically an update as to where we are. I can see you both look worried, but the good news from head office is that neither of you is going to be furloughed, but we have to try and repay that loyalty with some of our own. I know that's supposed to be a strength of yours. This is one of the things that we have to address, the lack of focus at times, because, well, there's the inappropriate stuff with Kevin the Doberman from accounts as well, but one thing at a time. So there are things that we have to try and improve on. Okay, the annual report. You've pretty much ruined the sofas. 913 squirrels chased, none caught, so not a good return.
Okay.
I'd really had a hard time understanding that.
Well, the newest online makeup challenge is called Tiny Face Challenge. You draw a tiny nose on the bridge of your real nose and use lipstick by your nostrils to make them look like lips. Then the cover of your actual lips, you cover your actual lips with a scarf or face mask. In the main video that's going viral, the woman can't stop giggling as she does it.
All right, y'all. Just gonna make a tiny little nose here. I'm gonna go across here. This is getting weird. This is really getting weird. Oh my gosh, it's freaking me out.
A tiny little nose.
Oh my god. I could totally go to the grocery store like this because my mouth is covered.
There you go.
You know what that reminds me of? A true story. I was in some store about a week ago or however long it's been. And a guy my age looked at me and made some kind of remark about I should be wearing a mask.
We'll stay socked under clouds today, and our temperatures will head into the upper 60s and lower 70s. We could see a few early sprinkles. Those should gradually clear out, and will stay cloudy for much of the day. Tonight will fall into the mid to upper 40s with highs tomorrow on the warmer side. We're going to get it cranking into the upper 70s and lower 80s with temperatures near 90 degrees by this weekend. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sand Hills, 97.3 FM, 104.1FM, and 990 AM, WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Saying we must think big for the American people, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi unveiling a $3 trillion plus coronavirus relief package. Pelosi insisting it's imperative to act now.
Because if we don't, it will cost more in lives and livelihood later.
And the bill may get through the Democrat-controlled House, but its future in the Republican-led Senate is uncertain. The majority and minority leaders there with different ideas about how to help America recover.
Democrat Charles Schumer says it's urgent that Congress approve another $3 trillion relief bill.
Republican leadership needs to wake up. Wake up!
But Majority Leader McConnell wants nothing to do with what he sees as another Democrat wish list.
American workers don't need Washington to inflict some far-left extreme makeover of our country. They need us to get rid of obstacles.
McConnell sponsoring a bill offering businesses, nonprofits, and government agencies new liability protections. Bob Agnew, Capitol Hill.
A judge saying not so fast in the Michael Flynn case.
A federal judge is making it clear he will not immediately rule on the Justice Department's decision to dismiss its criminal case against former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. U.S. District Judge Emmett Sullivan says he'll instead let outside individuals and groups weigh in with their opinions. Flynn pleaded guilty, but the Justice Department said last week that the FBI had no basis to question Flynn in the first place.
That's correspondent Keith Peters. The lion's share of classes to be conducted online this fall at California State University. Cal State's 23 campuses will, for the most part, remain shut down. The announcement comes as California continues to gradually lift coronavirus restrictions, the latest easing of those restrictions involving shopping malls and eat-in restaurants. Wall Street, Dow futures up 244 points. NASDAQ futures 87 points higher, and S&P futures up 22. More on these stories at townhall.com.
If your family depends on your income and something happened to you, what would happen to them? You need life insurance, and SelectQuote can help you get it at a price you can afford.
SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, who's in excellent health, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $19 a month.
Not in perfect health? Don't worry.
SelectQuote found Tanya, 40, who has type 2 diabetes, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $32 a month.
We shop companies like Protective, Prudential, American General, and others to find you the company with the best rates. Give your family the security they need at a price you can afford.
For your free quote, call 1-800-880-7474. That's 1-800-880-7474. Or go to selectquote.com. That's 1-800-880-7474.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policies at selectquote.com/commercials. Your premium could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
The British economy shrank 2% in the first 3 months of the year, the largest decline since 2008 financial crisis.
The British figures add to the growing list of economies reporting substantial damage attributable to the health crisis. The impact was concentrated at the end of the period in March, as it was only late in the month when the official shutdown of much commercial activity was imposed. In that month, the economy shrank by almost 6%. As most of the restrictions remain in place now and will continue for at least several weeks, a further decline seems inevitable. An official from the government statistics agency described the scale and speed of the contraction as unprecedented.
The BBC's Andrew Walker. A coronavirus outbreak in the Indian financial capital of Mumbai is starting to overwhelm hospitals, complicating any economic recovery plan. India's Prime Minister expected to unveil an economic stimulus package soon. News and analysis at townhall.com. The virus shutdown along New York City's Great White Way has been extended.
The neon lights are off on Broadway and will remain so for months. Although no one has an exact date for when performances can resume, Broadway producers are now offering refunds and exchanges for tickets purchased for shows through September 6th. Broadway theaters abruptly closed in mid-March, shuttering shows and the Tony Awards. The Actors Equity Association says this latest postponement to September is difficult but necessary, agreeing new protocols will have to be developed to protect performers and audience members. I'm Jackie Quinn.
Authorities in Wuhan, the Chinese city where the coronavirus pandemic first broke out, plan to test all 11 million residents in the coming 10 days. Watching Wall Street, Dow futures up 247 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
At Sand Hills Collision Center in Seven Lakes, we proudly serve all your automotive repair, auto body restoration, and collision repair needs. With our brand new state-of-the-art cheap straightening system and eco-friendly AmeriCure paint booth, you can rest assured that your vehicle, boat, or RV will receive top-notch repair and flawless paint jobs. And for all you aviators, we do aircraft body repair too. Sand Hills Collision Repair Center is veteran-owned and offers a 5% discount to our military family. We give free estimate and accept all insurance and self-pay. All our ATECs will provide superior customer service from start to finish because we are committed to quality and prompt expert service. Bring your automobile, boat, or RV by today for a free quote at 135 Village View Drive in Seven Lakes. That's just 2 minutes from the Food Lion on Seven Lakes Drive. Or call us at 910-673-AUTO. That's 673-AUTO. Sand Hills Collision Center, because you deserve the best. For more than 100 years, Pines Funerals has been there for Moore County families when they needed us most. We continue to build on tradition of trust by serving all your funeral and memorial needs from any of our convenient locations. Nestled in 15 acres of wooded landscape along Morganton Road, Pine Lawn Memorial Park offers memorial gardens, mausoleums, a chapel, and a beautiful brand new funeral and cremation center slated for completion in 2020. For free pre-planning information or to schedule a tour, call Pines Funerals at 910-947-2224 or visit pinesfunerals.com today.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do.
And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth and...
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, growing apart, and feeling more like roommates than loving partners, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire is the only FDA-approved sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. There is no mask or hose and no need to sleep in separate rooms. If you are struggling with CPAP, great sleep awaits at InspireSleep.com. That's InspireSleep.com. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation. No mask, no hose, just sleep.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
In Moore County, you know how much it means to have neighbors you can count on, like the one who mowed your lawn and trimmed and raked your pine straw the week you were sick. Well, here's another good neighbor you can count on. I'm Ward Rowland, State Farm agent in downtown Southern Pines. My team and I are here to help life go right when you combine your home and auto insurance, which can save you money and time. So combine home and auto and start the savings rolling. Call me today, 910-725-0915.
You hear best-selling author and four-time Emmy winner Coach Pete DeRuda on the air every week.
Let's do a forensic fee analysis. Let's break down the fees. Let's look at what they're charging you to do what they're doing. Let's make sure you're getting your money's worth. Let's make sure you're not overpaying for things you don't need. That happens a lot of times, too.
But did you know there's a secret passage for a free download to an audio copy of his best-selling book, 7 Baby Steps? Just visit 7babysteps.com to get yours free. That's 7babysteps.com. 7babysteps.com.
NCN News. I'm Mike Riley. More testing is on the way. That from Governor Roy Cooper as he participated in a briefing on the state's coronavirus response.
We have many retail partners, including Walgreens, Walmart, and Harris Teeter, that are opening up testing sites for the public. Because these sites are federally funded, it doesn't cost the person to get tested there.
Protesters were back in Raleigh once again on Tuesday to call for the governor to reopen the state fully amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Protester Laura Ham told CBS 17 they were there because of the impact on small businesses.
People are suffering, and it's horrible. It's horrible, and it's affecting all of us that are losing businesses.
Some church leaders across the state are asking Governor Roy Cooper to allow them to hold indoor services with more than 10 people. House Democrats are proposing another stimulus bill that would provide trillions of dollars in relief as well as funding for testing. CBS's congressional correspondent Nancy Cordes says
House Democrats released their massive new rescue bill yesterday. It's worth about $3 trillion with more payments to state and local governments, to working Americans, and more money for testing. The House is expected to vote on it on Friday, but Senate Republicans are already rejecting it, saying that it's too expensive.
That stimulus check. Chump change compared to what many British taxpayers are getting. CBS News correspondent Vicky Barker reports from London.
Because tens of millions of Brits may not be able to return to work for months. They may work in the hotel or restaurant industries or for travel companies and airlines. For instance, the government's announced it will continue to pay 80% of people's wages until October if necessary.
Asheville police confirm I-240 near Brevard Road is shut down right now due to a car chase. The Henderson County Sheriff's Office says one of their deputies was involved in a crash due to the chase. No word on their condition. You're listening to NCN News.
Wearing a seatbelt saves lives. Every passenger, every seat, every time you get in the car. So don't forget to click it or ticket today. The Click It or Ticket program is brought to you by the Governor's Highway Safety Program, a division of the North Carolina Department of Transportation, and is dedicated to promoting highway safety awareness to reduce the number of traffic crashes and fatalities in our state. Always buckle up, folks.
This message brought to you in partnership with the North Carolina High School Athletic Association. Visit nchsaa.org for more.
Alternative Power knows when your power goes out, even for just a few hours, life is disrupted. But when it goes out for days, life can become unbearable. Control your power, control your life with a new Generac home standby generator. There's never been a better time to install a new Generac generator. Alternative Power provides finance options and a free 10-year warranty. North Carolina's Generac experts. See more at alternativepower.com.
There are at least 15,681 people in 99 North Carolina counties who've tested positive for the coronavirus. 606 have died. A new poll shows a majority of college students ready to head back to class in the fall, coronavirus or not.
The College Reaction Survey says that nearly two-thirds of college students would return to campus this fall, even if there isn't a cure or at least a vaccine for the coronavirus. 65% of those surveyed say they'd attend in-person classes, while 31% say they'd only attend online. While the poll shows a great desire for college students to return to some normalcy, the reality is that with classes and other on- and off-campus life, it could pose a challenge for local public health officials to keep the virus in check. Bill Rakoff, CBS News.
Town leaders in Brunswick County are asking elected officials to help them get funding from the federal government, which they say they need due to the coronavirus pandemic. 17 of the county's 19 mayors signed a letter sent to Congressman David Rouser and Senators Richard Burr and Tom Tillis. Shalot Mayor Walter Eckert tells WWAY News in Wilmington.
In Brunswick County, depending on the town, either our sales tax or the occupancy tax are our two biggest sources of revenues after mortgage payments, property tax. Both those areas have been severely affected by the shutdown.
Round 2 of mixed martial arts is ahead on pay-per-view.
It's more new programming for sports-starved stay-at-homers. The second leg of the UFC's 3 shows in 8 nights is tonight at an empty arena in Jacksonville, Florida. The headliners, heavyweights Anthony Smith and Glover Teixeira. There was little to no social distancing or masks during Saturday night's event, but everyone involved was required to take COVID-19 blood and antigen tests. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
We're going to trade in below normal temperatures for above normal warmth as we head into the end of the week. This afternoon, look for temperatures in the upper 60s and lower 70s. Tonight, we'll fall into the mid to upper 40s. Our highs for tomorrow will be warmer. Expect them in the upper 70s and lower 80s. We are likely to see our temperatures near 90 degrees for this weekend. It's going to feel like summer out there. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
Right now, here in the Sand Hills area, still cloudy, 51 degrees, humidity 80%, dew point 45, pressure 36, winds calm, visibility at 10 statute miles. It is 8:14. Let's take a look at your Sand Hills news for this Wednesday morning. Due to social distancing mandates, the Town of Aberdeen Board agreed at its meeting Monday that it is not likely the town will be open for 5,000 to 6,000 people by the 4th of July. Conditions and caution was the tone of the committing to the fireworks because it is difficult to predict the COVID-19 phase the state will be under, so further discussion will be held in 2 weeks. It was suggested that visitors enjoy the fireworks from the cars, but it was brought up that the town had limited parking and that people will leave their cars and break social distancing guidelines. While the discussion on fireworks is ongoing, there will be no ban, vendors, or kid zones. Another alternative being discussed on the 4th of July historic Aberdeen Lake fireworks is a Labor Day celebration or a 5th of September festival. And Moore County announced expanded hours of operations for its household hazardous waste facility in Eagle Springs starting in July. Currently, the facility accepts hazardous household waste between the hours of 7 and 7 on the first Wednesday and third Saturday of each month. But starting July 1, the facility will begin increasing its collection frequency by accepting materials once a week, every Saturday during the same standard operating hours. That's your latest Sand Hills news this morning and your latest WEEB local news from the Sand Hills Sentinel. And of course, you can go online to sandhillsentinel.com for more information. It is 8:16, time for sports. That's next here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. Their meeting about opening the season was virtual, but it's not clear if there was a meeting of the minds between Major League Baseball and the Players Union. A person familiar with the talks says the meeting lasted more than 3 hours, but did not include an economic proposal. MLB explained its view of the economics, science, and logistics of getting the season underway. Opening day was to have been March 26th. The owners would like to see an opening around July 4th weekend. A person familiar with the results of a poll of NBA players taken by their union says there would be overwhelming support for any plan that has this season resuming in a safe way amid the pandemic. The poll conducted by the NBA Players Association was informal, but gave a sense that players would like to not only get to the playoffs, but also resume at least some of the regular season. The Big South Conference was supposed to tip at Bojangles Coliseum in March of 2021, but that's been pushed back a year due to the financial worries because of the coronavirus. Big South Commissioner Kyle Callender.
We were very excited in 2021 to come to Charlotte, come to Bojangles Arena, and have a neutral site championship. To be responsible for this year, we need to go back on campus.
And Chuck Birch is Gardner Webb's Vice President of Athletics.
Just, without being exactly right, we're probably looking at taking a hit where we ordinarily would get over $800,000 in different supplemental revenue from the NCAA. This year, we're projecting that number to be probably below $400,000.
Yeah, college athletic departments really being hit hard during the pandemic. The MAC conference is eliminating postseason tournaments in 8 sports, including baseball and softball, and the men's and women's basketball teams are among 9 sports that will have a scaled-back postseason. The MAC cost-cutting move made in response to the financial crisis brought on by the coronavirus. Champions in the 12-team conference will be determined by regular season results in sports without postseason tournaments. This is NCN Sports.
No doubt, times are tough right now, but we will persevere. Our farming community is doing their part. Nothing is more essential than our food source, and it's a stressful time for all of us. But farmers do what they always do through determination and sacrifice. They provide. Remember now more than ever to thank a farmer for all they do. Farm Credit is dedicated to doing our part to keep farmers farming. Farm Credit. We're farmers strong. Visit us at farmcreditofnc.com.
I'm Sean Harding, President of North Carolina Farm Bureau. During this difficult time, helping customers is our top priority. That's why North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance is returning $22 million to automobile policyholders and temporarily delaying cancellations and expirations. At Farm Bureau, we're in the people business, and I want you to know that we're here for you. And that's our promise. Helping you is what we do best.
It's been 13 weeks since NASCAR opened its season with a visit by the president at the Daytona 500. Thousands of fans went through metal detectors for that race. And when NASCAR resumes its season this Sunday at Darlington, South Carolina, they won't need the metal detectors. Drivers will have their temperatures taken as they enter the track. There will be no fans inside. NASCAR is going ahead with racing, saying it can do so safely while getting itself and its hard-hit teams badly needed revenue. The new coronavirus is also preventing football prospects from leaving home to visit campuses and is keeping college coaches from traveling to evaluate players across the country. North Carolina coach Mack Brown believes this could cause more 2021 prospects to stay in their home states. More than half of recruits who've already committed selected colleges over 300 miles away from their hometown. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
Serving more people, more places, 24/7. If your AC breaks down, we'll restore your indoor heaven. Installation or repair, one call will be there. It's your family, don't delay. Comfort's just a call away. We're Comfort Services. Comfort Services.
You've heard the comment, save your energy. Well, Comfort Services can save your energy bill and make your home more comfortable. Specializing in installation, HVAC, and comprehensive air quality services. Locally owned since 2003, Comfort Services is nationally certified and a Carrier Energy Expert dealer with highly qualified technicians. Go to ComfortServicesInc.com or call 910-695-2665 on Highway 5 next to Habitat in Aberdeen. 910-695-2665.
Comfort's just a call away. Comfort Services.
Hello, this is Debbie Serino, owner of Wakert Realtors Town & Country. Whether you're looking to sell your home now or at some time in the future, why not let the experts at Wakert prepare you so that when you are ready, you will experience the results you deserve, nothing but the best. One of our recent sales was a home that had been on the market with another firm for a year. Our clients came to us looking for better results. We listed the home on Friday and it sold on Saturday. Would you like to know how we did it? Give us a call at 910-235-3685. Our marketing plan has proven time and time again to produce the results you need. We sell more because we do more.
Call 910-315-9051 or find them at the corner of Rattlesnake and McCaskill Road East in Pinehurst. Independently owned and operated.
For more than 100 years, Pines Funerals has been there for Moore County families when they needed us most. We continue to build on tradition of trust by serving all your funeral and memorial needs from any of our convenient locations. Nestled in 15 acres of wooded landscape along Morganton Road, Pine Lawn Memorial Park offers memorial gardens, mausoleums, a chapel, and a beautiful brand new funeral and cremation center slated for completion in 2020. For free, pre-planning information, or to schedule a tour, call Pines Funerals at 910-947-2224 or visit pinesfunerals.com today.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do.
And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth and...
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, growing apart, and feeling more like roommates than loving partners, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire is the only FDA-approved sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. There is no mask or hose and no need to sleep in separate rooms. If you are struggling with CPAP, great sleep awaits at InspireSleep.com. That's InspireSleep.com. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation. No mask, no hose, just sleep.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
To whomever said don't bite off more than you can chew, Zaxby's humbly offers a couple of exceptions. Introducing the hand-breaded buttermilk Southern TLC sandwich with lettuce, tomato, and mayo. And the other is a hand-breaded filet with our fruity, sweet, and spicy Caribbean jerk sauce, sliced banana peppers, crisp lettuce, and mayonnaise. Both of these delicious sandwiches are served on a toasted potato bun. Zaxby's. Friends, family, flavor. Located in Southern Pines off Highway 15501 in front of the Holiday Inn. Drive-through only.
Need to declutter this spring? Go to Pools Buildings where everyone is approved. Just minutes from Aberdeen and Pine Bluff, Pools Buildings is your dealer for SPS, metal buildings, and Old Hickory wood buildings. Come see a huge selection of quality buildings, cabanas, garages, carports, and more. Get a lifetime warranty as low as 5% down and free delivery and setup. Go to 525 North Walnut Street in Pine Bluff or visit their Facebook or poolsbuildings.com for a quote. That's POOLES buildings.com.
The following is a message from the Moore County Veterans Service Office. Many of Moore County's veterans are considered to be high risk during the coronavirus shutdown and may need help accessing non-emergency goods and services. While the Moore County Veterans Service Office is currently closed to the public, our staff is available by phone to provide referrals to community resources that can help with non-emergency issues. Call the Veterans Service Office at 910-947-3257 and leave a message for referrals, information on veterans' disability, and other claims. Please allow 48 hours for messages to be returned. New York Deli is a slice of the Big Apple in Pinehurst. Located in Olmsted Village, New York Deli offers authentic New York bagels and a full breakfast menu until 11 a.m. Looking for lunch? There are 33 signature sandwiches to choose from. New York-style pizza on Wednesdays and Fridays, and now offering Meatball Mondays. New York Deli is open weekdays from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Visit Moore County Takeout and Delivery Options Facebook page for our menu updates. Call 295-2264 for takeout, or have your order delivered via DoorDash, Grubhub, or Easy Bites.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. I'd like to tell you about something that Congress is doing, something I believe will make you angry. There's at least one congressperson who's also upset by this action, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, more commonly known as AOC. Now wait, before you give her credit, listen to the whole story. Congress has a $3 billion. Whoops, messed up again. Congress has a $3 trillion coronavirus relief bill in the works. I think in part because they don't believe we're capable of spending enough money quickly enough, also to make us, you and me, believe they care about us. Anyway, part of that money is going to go to illegal aliens. What did he just say? I said part of that money is going to go to illegal aliens. In fact, up to $6,000 per household of illegal aliens. Okay, I told you AOC is upset about this, and she is. She's angry that it excludes many college-age kids. Democrats have lost their minds. Why don't we just send checks to Mexico to save folks the trouble of coming here? In fact, heck, let's just let people in every country on earth apply for a check. Will that make AOC and the rest of the Democrats happy? By the way, check out all the other ways Democrats want in that bill. Meanwhile, don't let Americans get their hair cut, and for heaven's sake, excuse the pun, don't let them go to church. Thanks for listening to the Zoom Walk Zone.
We'll stay socked under clouds today, and our temperatures will head into the upper 60s and lower 70s. We could see a few early sprinkles. Those should gradually clear out, and will stay cloudy for much of the day. Tonight will fall into the mid to upper 40s with highs tomorrow on the warmer side. We're going to get it cranking into the upper 70s and lower 80s with temperatures near 90 degrees by this weekend. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills #1 morning show. Mornings with the Leader Man. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
Turn on the radio.
What's today?
It's Wednesday.
Today's Wednesday.
On your feet. This is not the time nor the place for sleep.
You have a show to do.
I can do it in my sleep.
Sounds like you already have.
We think our show is good.
That's what you were thinking.
Everybody else.
Not so much.
But you're all right.
Okay, thanks for the pep talk.
Thanks for the pep talk.
That's what I'm here for. Well said. So let's get this show started.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. It is time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams, fresh off of, what I said was, 3 hours and 41 fine minutes of sleep last night, according to Fitbit. And don't forget also that the Colonel's out for the rest of the week. He's helping a fellow Marine get through a difficult time, and he should be back on Monday. But sitting in his place, and yes, ladies, he's going to be here the rest of the week. It's our one and only John Zumwalt. Good morning, John.
Wait, I forget to put you on. See, you never forget to punch the Colonel's button. But good morning. That had to be very disappointing as the introduction to hear my name. But it's great to be here. I love talking to people. Thank you.
Don't forget, of course, we are being heard and seen around the world on a live video stream. That's available right now at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is where the link's located. Also located in the same place at talk1041.com. And if you're on your mobile device, fire up YouTube and put Mornings with the Leader Man in there to watch the video. Now, to watch just to get the audio only stream, that's a little different. You need a streaming app such as TuneIn, iTunes, and Streamer. And you put WEEB in the search, and you get the audio stream that way. And you can also get it off of our website at talk973.com or talk1041.com. And click that icon in the upper right-hand corner of any of our web pages where it says Listen Live. Click that once and you're listening that quick. Weather for us today here in the Sandhills area. It's not going to be bad. No rain really expected. Although we had a little sprinkles this morning, still some sprinkles scattered out there. But things should be partly cloudy by afternoon. Look for a high today of 70. Then tonight, mostly cloudy, partly cloudy, I should say, 53. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a high of 8. Mostly cloudy. Where am I getting that? Partly cloudy with a high of 80. Thursday night, 61. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Partly cloudy to mostly clear skies. 83 on Friday, 88 on Saturday and Sunday. Right now we're up, and that's good COVID-19 killing weather. Because it doesn't like heat, doesn't like humidity, and there's plenty of heat there to just get outside, get your vitamin D generated there in your skin by the sun's rays, and you can then start getting rid of that COVID-19 potential off of you if you have run into it at all. Right now, visibility 10 statute miles, winds are calm, pressure 30-36, Dew point 45, humidity 80%. It's cloudy, 51 degrees currently here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Got so much info, it takes 3 radio stations to get it out there. All right, today is Wednesday, of course, time for our extended Zoom Alt Zone, and we'll let John kick it off. You got some info there for us?
Well, I do, Steve, and it's hard to read a letter and for that letter not to be boring. I'm going to attempt to do that right now because I think it's very, very, very important. It's actually more of a media advisory. It's from Representative Keith Cadell from the 79th District. Some of you are listening to this while you're driving to the event that he's talking about, where he's going to be attending a news conference today. Now, I'm going to quote from this point on. I think it's excellent. It's a lawsuit he'll be talking about, so here I go, quote. The topic will be a lawsuit being filed on behalf of hundreds of churches in North Carolina against Governor Roy Cooper. The purpose of the lawsuit is to remind the governor that churches are free to exercise their rights under North Carolina Constitution, Article 1, Section 13, and also under the United States Constitution in the First Amendment. Through his executive order, the governor has restricted people's right to attend church by limiting attendance to a maximum of no more than 10 people per service, and previously his restrictions did not allow any indoor church services at all. During the same time, he allowed, and I'm going to interject, during the same time he had churches effectively closed, and I'm going back to quoting, he allowed ABC stores, abortion centers, hardware stores, Walmart stores, vapor shops, NASCAR, and others to operate at much larger capacities. This is an infringement on the religious rights of the citizens of North Carolina. The North Carolina Constitution states explicitly, under religious liberty, now this is a quote from our Constitution, and this is very, very important. All persons have a natural and inalienable right to worship Almighty God according to the dictates of their own conscience, and no human authority shall in any case whatever control or interfere with the rights of conscience. It goes on to say this is about as clear as the English language gets. But Governor Roy Cooper has for many weeks completely disregarded both this and the United States First Amendment, where it states Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. It's almost over, ladies and gentlemen. The governor has been asked by many to stop this unconstitutional order, but he continues to prevent the churches from opening. At the very least, churches should be offered the same amount of freedom given to businesses. It would have been proper for the governor to ask churches to increase the number of services maybe, or extend to their parish halls or even parking lots. But forcing the churches to close has never been done in the entire history of the United States, and this should never happen again. The constitutions are, by design, restrictions on the government, not on the governed. As a result of his actions, we the people find it necessary to file suit against Governor Roy Cooper, and that ends the quote of this letter. And that's going to be happening today. Some of you, as I said, are en route. It'll be taking place. And thank God for the hundreds of churches that had the nerve to stand up and go do this.
Can they get an expedited hearing?
Well, I don't have any legal training, and I have no idea how that would work. So
Because otherwise you're talking 2 years before they get to it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I hope so, but who knows? It's my opinion all this stuff is media-driven anyway, and if we have the drive-by media that's going to criticize this, make fun of it, and Cooper feels he has the backing.
No, yeah, they pull every trick in the book, because you look at that CBS reporter that was at the White House Rose Garden, and she was of Chinese-American descent, and she's an American, and she asked a question about the stats on COVID-19, And the president says, I don't know, ask China. That's where it started. They're the ones giving out their stats. And they showed a lot of clips of him telling other reporters, go ask China, go ask China, go ask China. And she pulls off from that and says, why are you directing that at me?
Yeah.
You know, you're a racist. This is how the smear she wants put on him. You're a racist, and I smear you with a racist comment.
Well,
when he didn't do any such thing.
I saw that, and as a matter of fact, I saw it twice. And it occurred to me that here's a lady sitting there as an American journalist, as a human being, talking to the President of the United States about the virus that started in China. It also occurred to me that, judge me if you will, folks, but this lady, you couldn't help but notice that she was strikingly beautiful. Very, very pretty lady. And you can't help but feel this woman has never experienced the kind of racial bias that some of you have, whether you're, or religious bias that some of you have. But yet, she tried to turn that simple remark into some kind of a racist attack on her, and shame on her, and shame on the drive-by media for even bringing that up. That woman will never be, well, she'll never be writing a credible book about my experiences being treated horribly because of my Asian descent. Listen.
Oh, go ahead.
No, well, I just want to say, Steve, that there are people in this world, we all know that, who exercise prejudice feelings against people of other, who are not their color. But most people, yes, most people would stand back in horror to even hear something being done to a person. I can't imagine. I think most people, hopefully to the good Lord, have gotten to the point where when they see a person that's of any color, we just think of them as human beings. And even if, of course, you notice the differences, just like you notice that I'm an old guy, you wouldn't tell someone, well, you know, I didn't notice. Is he 19 or is he 70? Of course you notice these things. You can't help but notice them. But it's merely a description of the way we are or the way we look. And it's not, but listen, I'm getting off track here. Back to Trump. He responded to that. If that virus would have been in Sweden, he would have called it the Swedish virus, or any other country. So that's ridiculous, and they're just looking for something, don't you think, to make an issue
well,
out of it?
Well, so many of them up there break the cardinal rule of journalism, and that is you don't interject yourself into the story. And she's trying to make a story by making the comment, so that all the networks can pick up on that and say, oh, he's a racist. See what he did to a little Asian reporter. And he's said the same thing to other reporters. But no matter what he says, they twist it back and say he's incompetent. He didn't start early enough while all those were calling him xenophobes for starting.
And you know, you raise an excellent point. I don't know when we decided in this country that it's okay for some little reporter, whether they're right out of college or whether they've been there 40 years, to
lecture the president,
to debate the president, ask the questions, and let me and you and the listeners, let us decide. Does that sound right? Is that correct?
Yeah.
This business of arguing, oh no, I don't get it, and I hate it.
The event so that the public can make their own decisions, but they want to digest it for you, make your decision for you. And people who don't have or don't stay involved with all this, and don't and just listen to NBC Nightly News, they get fed their biased, slanted reporting instead of fair and balanced stuff, and so they believe it.
And people like Rachel Maddow, people like her, if you listen to her spin on this all day, of course you hate America. Of course you hate Trump. Just listen to the facts and forget all this business of people telling you what you should believe.
Well, all we heard from her for 3 years was Russia, 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 Russia.
Yeah.
And when the Russians have now come out and said it wasn't Trump we were trying to get elected, it was Hillary.
Well, and this business with General Flynn, that might be the most.
Yeah, you got a prejudiced, Democratic, Trump-hating judge up there dragging this out. That's all it's for, because if it can hurt Donald in November, he's going to make sure it's still there. Now they're looking like January 1 before they'll wash it away.
And may not. I mean, this judge could do anything he wants. And if I understood the legalities, the options this judge has, if I understood that better, I'd try to comment on it. But rather than do that, I wish folks would just look that up and read about it. It's atrocious, some of the things that are happening. It's unbelievable. If they can do that to a 3-star general who is an appointment of the President of the United States, imagine, just imagine what they could do to you or to me. Who are we going to call? No one will ever know about it.
Yeah.
You remember the days, Steve, when, and all of you out there, do you remember the days when we just worshiped the FBI? I know I just think, oh, good, the FBI has arrived. All will be well. They're going to figure this out. They're going to do the right thing. These guys were like robot supermen to me when I was a little boy. I just admired them so much and well into my adulthood. And I got to tell you, having worked with the FBI quite a bit, I still do admire the field agents. But these guys that sit up in the federal building all their careers and finally make it to the Hoover building and just sit there and they become bureaucrats, no, I detest them.
And they just, if they want to get you, they'll get you.
Yeah.
They'll create a perjury trap for you to walk into, and then they got you.
Well,
ask Martha Stewart.
You're right. And you know what? Every police officer who's listening knows what I'm about to say is true. And you guys know, and ladies know that I love our law enforcement. I do. I used to be one.
Yeah.
Yep. And but you know, and every driver out there knows this: if a police officer follows you long enough, he can legitimately find something you're doing wrong and write you a ticket for it.
Yeah, you weaved.
You went over the line. You didn't
license
signal.
plate's too dirty.
Yeah, you didn't signal within the right amount of distance to before you turned.
Yeah.
I mean, distracted driving. That's a judgment call. If you're eating a hamburger or talking on your phone, distracted. I mean, there's a million things they could get you for. The FBI, if you read, intentionally, that was their goal, according to their own notes, was to go to the White House and find something that they could get General Flynn for.
Yeah, so if I'm not a lawyer, but I'm going to give you some free legal advice. If the FBI ever comes in, or any government official ever comes in the office with some kind of allegation, the only word that should be out of your mouth is lawyer.
Well, I happen to agree with that, and we're putting in a plug for attorneys here. I think most people would do it anyway, but if you're being accused of a crime or they're questioning you about a crime, I think most folks would say, I want an attorney present. General Flynn didn't say that, and look what happened to him.
Yeah, like I said, they just went over there with the intent to entrap him, and he was entrapped.
I just got a text to remind me that Return America, and I hinted at it a while ago when I read that letter. Okay, it'll be tomorrow at 11 o'clock, not today. I don't know why I was thinking it was today, but it's tomorrow. So let me
tomorrow they filed a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Return America will be at the Legislative Building in Raleigh tomorrow at 11 o'clock, not today. And I hope that some of you will consider getting in your cars and driving up there and attending that.
What time?
11 o'clock. 11 o'clock. So anyway, thank you, Ken Benway, for that. I had that wrong. And I think I got a phone call about it, too. So folks pay attention, and when I screw up, they sure let me know, and I appreciate it. Surprised the phone's not ringing 24 hours a day when I'm on here.
Well, it is. I just can't answer it. Some things you need to know today. Down in Mexico, they've got problems. The president has just extended the military presence on streets to help curb their runaway violence.
Now, who, the Mexican president?
Yeah.
That's good. I don't think it's going to do any good. They're just going to kill the troops or pay them off.
You saw what AOC said yesterday. She was sitting there calling for in this dream package that the Democrats are going to put out. Of course, it will be DOA on arrival. They want a package where she wants our package to be more globalized so that we're giving money to foreign countries to help them so that they can stay afloat. Hey, right now I'm worried about Americans. They have to manage their problems. We got to manage ours, and ours are plenty big.
There are people listening who listen only so they can make notes and criticize what's said on this program. So they probably think that's okay to send money. I would, let me ask you this. If you're listening and you're thinking, I've got plenty of money and I don't need any of the money that I've lost because I've been laid off because of the coronavirus, because of the governor, I think I'll write a check to someone in Mexico or Honduras or Sweden or where do I send that money to? Contact AOC's office and they'll let you know, because maybe she has a point, but I don't want to help
a point
one
we can afford.
Well, I don't want to help one person, not a single one, not one outside of this nation until we've helped everyone who needs help in this nation.
Right.
And I mean, I don't know why we don't cut out all aid, frankly, to places like Saudi Arabia and all those other places where we send millions. It just doesn't make sense. We have people here we need to help.
And in Brazil, get this, there's talk of the military taking over the country. You start out with them taking over parts of things. You've got the government, and then eventually they want to just, you got basically Nazi Germany on you then.
Well, you do, but I've got to jump in here and say this. We've got some terrible leadership in this country when it comes to I should say in this state, when it comes to our Democrat governor. But when we talk about our military taking over this great nation, our military consists of people like you and like me and like Steve. We are the kind of people who make up the military. This military that we currently have is never going to ever be coaxed into trying to take your guns or take your nation over. These are good people, especially the warrior class. They're not going. You'll never find infantry guys and special operations guys who want to kick your door down, because when they're done training and putting their lives on the line, and when they come home from Iraq or Afghanistan where they've been wounded or had their legs blown off, when they come home, they love America just as much as you, and they go home and play with their cat and dog and say hello to their wife and love their kids. So these guys are not going to come back and try to take your guns. You don't have to worry about our military right now at the present time, but you do have to worry about our government, and I hope you do. I hope, especially when it comes to our Democrat pathetic excuse for leaders.
A new study shows that the majority of employees working from home are actually more productive there than at work.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
I don't either.
I don't believe that for a second. I worked from home one time for a company, and I didn't have anything to do. I'd close my curtains in my little office. I thought, what if they drive by? And I called them, and I was like, hey, you guys got anything? Oh, no. I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? At least when you're at work, you can go to another office and get something from them. I don't know. Maybe some people do better at home. I always liked being in an office. And
what type of work was it?
It was, I was working for a company that solved problems for the United States government.
Okay.
Solve difficult problems.
Trump administration has approved the largest solar installation in U.S. history just outside of Las Vegas. It's being built by one of Warren Buffett's companies. According to a report from The Hollywood Reporter, well, if they're doing that, there must be enough demand for this. You don't want to be totally dependent on one type of fuel, meaning oil, or to drive your turbines. Or, the best solution would be nuclear, if you ask me. But now they won't let you build any nuclear plants.
I happen to agree with you. I think nuclear would be the best as well.
Over in France, they build a little nuclear plant inside, super hardened concrete. And it's all sealed up when they're through. The only thing you got on the outside are the leads to connect to. And they bury it down in a deep hole in a community like, say, Southern Pines. I'm serious. And off of that one generator, which you never have to touch, it's all fully automated. You can supply all of Southern Pines or 30,000 customers with electricity for 30 years. At the end of 30 years, then the hazmat boys show up, dig it up, put another one down there, and you're back on.
Well, the reason I laughed when you said Southern Pines was because the day that Southern Pines Council okays a nuclear reactor underneath their soil somewhere, it'll be a different time. But you know what?
Well, you know what? That Duke Power might actually get an electrical business if they did that, because competition always helps.
You're right. I was very blessed. When I was in Special Forces, I got to do a lot of things, and one of the things that our team was tasked with doing was to go to a nuclear plant in this United States and look for vulnerabilities in it and figure out ways that we could shut it down in another country if we had to. And one of the things that impressed me so much that I just couldn't believe, I was amazed, was how unbelievably safe these things are. And worst case scenario, if they had an accident, how minor the damage would be compared to what I had always believed. We tend to think that if we have some type of nuclear accident, that alone is just that we had a nuclear accident. The pilot would have a field day with that. But it's not necessarily in fact, it's not. It's not like the bomb that was dropped on Nagasaki or Hiroshima. It's an accident, but it's not going to kill tens of millions of people. Depending on where it's at, it may not kill anybody. And as Steve said, they have gotten so safe with these things, and the return you get is just absolutely amazing. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. Because
it's definitely the cheapest way.
Cheapest way, best way, excellent way to do it. And I wish
people look at it like the coronavirus. Oh, it'll kill me one day.
Yeah. No.
That's why these smaller packages are so safe.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing it over in France all the time.
Yeah.
Other news, according to a report from the Hollywood Reporter, the directors behind Netflix's documentary, The Tiger King, which you have seen, are hard at work on a sequel that will explore the 2003 mauling attack of Roy Horn of Siegfried and Roy.
Oh, okay. Well, I've got to say a word about Tiger King.
Okay.
Okay, if you've seen it, you know the guy who the story is about. Do you know his name? Everybody's hollering it at us. Maybe somebody will text it. I can't remember his name, but there's one segment.
Well, he's definitely a character. He goes by Tiger King, so you can just call him that.
I thought he went by, anyway. So he was out walking among his tigers and his lions, and one of them, the tigers got a little carried away and grabbed him by the foot, and he's dragging him across the yard, literally dragging this tiger, full-grown tiger, across the yard while all the other tigers are growling at him. Okay, now listen. I consider myself to be as brave as the next man. I consider myself to be reasonably okay with things. But I got to tell you, if a tiger is ever dragging me across the yard by the foot, and I have two guns like this guy did, he's got a gun out, firing it into the ground, and he is literally cussing that tiger. This guy either had to be high on drugs or something, because generally speaking, when a tiger is dragging you across the yard, I don't know the statistic. That can't have a good ending normally. But he's shooting in the ground. I would have been shooting that thing between the eyes and going, instead of cussing the thing. It's a tiger, and it's dragging you across the yard. That's the kind of, if you haven't seen Tiger King, you probably haven't seen it for good reason.
Well, you remember that incident with that female help who was feeding the tigers?
Oh, yeah.
The tiger drug her arm through the cage and gnawed it off from the elbow down?
Yeah, she lost it. And, I mean, these are tigers. These are animals. They're wild animals. And
they're 600, 700, 800-pound animals.
Well, I'd be interested to hear about the Roy, and he just died, Siegfried and Roy.
Yeah.
And I never got to see them. I wish I would have. I was in Vegas several times when they were playing. Guess they were pretty good.
I saw them.
Did you?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
It was a very good show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
there wasn't anything disappointing about it. It was a good magic show. Illusion show.
I love magic. Did I say Maggie's? I don't know any Maggies.
It was well done. Everybody likes it.
Yeah. I just got a text in relation to coronavirus. We've had over 1,800 drug doses this year in North Carolina. Over 1,800 fatalities, 1,800 drug fatalities. And in the United States, you ready? 67,000. Just another way to die in our nation. So got a lot to...
Well, needless dying.
Needless dying. It kills me when I watch these documentaries, and you hear some poor wretch, and by that I mean just some poor person you can't help but feel sorry for, man or woman, and they're saying, the first time I ever used this, it's so powerful, I was immediately addicted. And they're talking about the newest drugs. Would you ever put anything in your arm that you knew from that moment on you would be addicted? I can't imagine how things would have to be.
No, I back during the heavy drug days, I had a friend who tried heroin. And I said, what was it like? And she said, it scared me. I said, why did it scare you? Because she said, I liked it way too much.
Yeah. Well,
and that statement there kept that thought ever out of my mind.
Well, you know what? I don't think, to me, you try a new cereal or a new kind of bread, but to me, you don't try heroin.
No, the drugs you try are those prescribed by a doctor.
Yeah.
And they don't grow in a pot shop.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So, all right, so it goes. Anything else?
Nope, I forgot to tell you the rest of my joke. I'll tell you tomorrow. Bye.
All right, so it goes for this Wednesday. Have yourself a great, safe day. We'll see you back bright and early tomorrow, 7 to 9 for a thumping Thursday morning with the Leader Man. Until then, be sure to support all the businesses you hear on our airways because they are sticking it out through this coronavirus. They need your support. They live here. They work here. They support our community. So let's support them back. So when you have spending dollars you need to spend, give them first crack at it. And don't forget, millions of Americans, they have fought and they have died to give and protect the freedoms that you get to enjoy today. So live today worthy of their and their family's sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adams, an old Leader Man, and Nick and Colt the dog. We'll all see you at 2 o'clock this afternoon at the dog park.